chose to name the album Tullahoma because I stepped back after we had all the songs kind of finalized, the last batch of songs, pretty close at least. And I started trying to figure out why I ended up with this batch of 11 songs I did for this, I guess, timestamp of my life of making music, and why I was writing the lyrics I was writing, and just why I gravitated towards each song. And it all came back to, well, it's kind of because it's who I am right now. And then I started thinking about, why am I who I am? You know, it got pretty deep. And I'm who I am because I was blessed enough to have a hometown, you know, the same town my whole life until I moved to Nashville at the age of 18 to chase this crazy dream. And so that town is responsible. The people of that town, my family, my friends that are still there, that are still at home rooting for me, are responsible for me being here today. And it just felt like the appropriate thing to do. I tried to get super cute and smart and figure out how to name it Tullahoma without saying Tullahoma. Super clever, and after about 3 weeks of trying to disguise the word Tullahoma, I just decided, let's just name it my hometown. A lot of the lyric, I would say probably 90% of my lyric that comes out of my mouth and ends up on a page is from a setting or a situation that has happened in my hometown or around my hometown, wherever we used to ride back roads and go act a fool in the countryside. So yeah, for sure, a lot of these songs on this album are direct influenced by that town and the surrounding area, and of course the lyrics as well kind of steer that ship. Well, I rarely get to go back now to Tullahoma, but when my family's still there, so I kind of sneak in and hang with them unannounced. It's a bit of a challenge to go anywhere in town these days, but we can kind of sneak around on the outskirts, and you know, if I had a night off just to go hang with old friends, we'd probably go back to some of the hangout spots, you know, off the dirt roads out by the lake, where we used to chill and just party a little bit. We'd probably go do that again. Of course, yeah. I you know, the first true heartbreak you ever feel in your life sucks. And you know, Mama's House is a song, you see the title and you expect, oh, this is gonna be a warm, lovey-dovey type of tribute to mom, and you find out very quickly when the chorus hits, it's the exact opposite, you know. You know, your mom's house is the one saving grace of this guy not jumping off the deep end over a breakup. But yeah, I think anytime you feel love for the first time, and of course in high school, she's the one, right? And I think for me, my mom and dad are high school sweethearts. My grandmom and granddad are high school sweethearts. And my sister and her husband are high school sweethearts. So it was only fair that I felt very deeply in love whenever I met my girlfriend in high school. And it sucked whenever the breakup happened, but many have happened since, and I've survived. Yeah, I'm really excited about the collaboration we got to do with Lauren and Alaina. You know, the duet I get to do with Lauren because she and I have a natural kind of organic friendship, and I don't know if she's a fan of mine, but I'm a fan of hers. And because we got to tour together at the end of 2018 for, I don't know how many shows it was, like 20-ish something shows. We were out with Cole Swindell, Lauren and myself, and we had a great time. And I asked her to come out and sing a song of mine called Love Me or Leave Me Alone off my last album. And she so kindly did, and I realized very quickly that, wow, our voices, they just work together. And she's such a great performer and entertainer that I kind of put it in the back of my mind. I wanted to have her featured on something in the future, and I went in to write specifically for this album a duet, a song that I could have a female collaborate with me on, and luckily she liked the song. I sent her the song and she immediately called me and said, I'm totally in. I'll only sing it if we get to make out in the rain in the video. So I was like, well, we'll see. We'll talk about that. But I'm glad you're in. So it was fun. She's an awesome person, and believe it or not, we had to fly to LA to record her vocal because she was stuck in LA for Dancing with the Stars. So it was kind of one of those crazy chain of events where we ended up recording her vocal in LA, mine in Nashville, and we made the magic happen in the studio. Old country song reminds me of just that classic Regal love my parents have, right? And for whatever reason, it reminds me of the Grand Ole Opry. I get to, now I'm a member of the Grand Ole Opry, and which is just, it's crazy to even say. feel weird even saying that now, and it's been a little over a year, but my parents always make date night out of me playing the Opry. And so that song, it reminds me of that connection I have with my parents. And it's just that love that's going to stand the test of time. You know, I'm so blessed to have a relationship like that close to me and around me. I get to experience that still today. One of my favorite old country songs, gosh, probably Forever and Ever Amen by Randy Travis. It's actually the first song I was ever able to play on guitar and sing at the same time. It's tough to do as a kid. You can get to where you can play along, but then you also have to sing. It's really tough. And that was the first breakthrough I had where I could play guitar, sing, and I sang that song to my parents. It was the first song I ever sang to them. So that's probably my favorite. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, there is. There's actually a road called Lazy Branch. I don't know if it's a road. I don't know. You drive down it, so I guess it's considered a road, right? But it's dirt and gravel, and I think it's halfway on somebody's property. But it was Lazy Branch, and it was kind of a drinking game growing up. It's a pretty long, winding one-way road, just, I don't know, through a bunch of woods, and it pops out by the lake and then back around. And so we would, figure out a way to sneak some beer out of town, and you'd have to finish a beer by the time you made a lap. It was kind of our, you couldn't get in trouble out in the country like that. So that was kind of what we did in high school to get away, and that I don't know why. I even named my vibe room backstage at my concerts is named Lazy Branch from that road, because it's kind of where we started learning how to party, and I guess we still party a little bit on the road. So we're bringing Lazy Branch along with us. Yeah, Little Town Living is simply just me name checking everything, kind of right there on North Jackson Street in Tullahoma. It's crazy to think that, and the last time I was in Tullahoma with my dad, I got lunch from a convenience store. It's odd now living in a bigger city. It's kind of funny that you go, they have pizza, burgers, and barbecue, and you can get gas and cigarettes. It's great. One-stop shop. But so that song is just completely just name checking everything, kind of just me driving a block in Tullahoma. And it was kind of weird to write it. It fell out a bit of it. The phrasing was quick. It was very quick for me to sing, and even live, I really have to concentrate singing that song because I'm, from the South. I don't talk quickly. I don't feel like so. Singing that fast is a bit of a challenge. But yeah, Little Town Living is simply just a laundry list of spots. If you were to drive a block with me on North Jackson Street in Tullahoma, that's what you'd see, and that's kind of what I wrote down. I miss Friday nights on that street. Back, and I assume they still cruise it, but back in the day, whenever you try to have the biggest wheels on your truck and the loudest speakers in the back, windows down, and jumping out at red lights and switching cars with friends. Then you go to the Sonic drive-thru and get a milkshake and whatever else and hit on girls and figure out how to get to Lazy Branch later, see who could buy beer or snug beer out of the house. So that's kind of what we did. That would be fun to do again. I think life gets a little boring now that you can just go to a bar and get a drink. Back then it was a whole night of an event to try and find one beer.